Hello again and thanks for joining. So just recently I did a review of a Deutsche Reichsbahn coach from Liliput and I was very impressed with that coach. I thought it had a lot of detail and it was a good price as well. I was so impressed I went ahead and bought these 3 additional coaches also from Liliput. This time they're all from the Deutsche Bundesbahn. I believe all 3 models here were made sometime between the year 2000 and 2010. So they're not really old. Normally on this channel I've got stuff that's maybe 40, 50, 60 years old, but these are fairly modern. So I'm expecting a lot of nice detail and finish on them. And of course, they're all made in China. I think this is the oldest of the 3. This one is number L382101. And you can see it's a Gepäckwagen, so a luggage van, basically in English, ex-Rheingold. And it's a Deutsche Bahn from era 3, and it's got a B there. I'm not quite sure why it's got B. The next one is this, L385301, and it's an auto transport wagon from the DB from era 3, so a car transporter. Well, that's quite interesting, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And finally we have L385401 Saloon Spiesswagen, again from the DB and era 3. So I think this is a saloon coach, again, very interesting. So I'm quite looking forward to having a look at these close up. I've not actually had them out of the box since I bought them, and I will tell you the price at the end of the video. So let's open them up and I'll start off with the oldest one. So the models come with 2 bags of extra parts. These look like brake shoes that can be fitted, and this has 2 different sizes of gangways. The model is actually fitted with a small one and a large one, so I guess you can mix it up a little bit. And here is the model, and I think I've lucked out with this one because it looks like brand new. I don't think it's been used that much. There is a little bit of dirt on the wheels, but apart from that there's absolutely no indication that this has been out of the box before, and it does look really good. So looking up at this end, it's been fitted with the smaller of the gangways. Obviously an additional piece that's been fitted on here looks really good. And we've got ladders which are extra pieces fitted on as well in black plastic. And we've got little handrails as well. Very similar to the Deutsche Reichsbahn we had a look at not long ago. You can also see it has pretty good glazing. I think it just suffers a little bit on this door, but it is flush fit and it is very clear, so you can see inside, no problem at all. The buffers are integral into the chassis, but they do have the ends of them as pushed in pieces, so if they fall out you can always replace them, I guess. There is a bit of space underneath this door here on the chassis. It's obviously not meant to be like that, and maybe the model just hasn't been pushed together quite right. But what I do really like about this is the shade of green. It's a lovely matte colour. It's really finished very well. It's got this black line that runs the whole length of the baggage car, which is masked off absolutely perfectly. It's got some really nice detail like the handle here and the little handrail and another handle there, which has been picked out in gold colour. And as we move down the carriage, you can see we have printing like the DB logo here is very nicely done. I think that's actually a transfer. But we have really small printing down on the chassis, which is almost impossible to see with the naked eye, but really good that it's there. This end is normal on German carriages. We have the details up here. We've got 2 hatches here with additional pieces that have been picked out, and you can see that this carriage is type KOL. This is blanked out for the toilet, and we have another door again with a door handle picked out. The steps are a bit better fitted on this end of the carriage. So we've got the larger gangway fitted on this end, and up here we've got this additional raised section which is glazed on this. Up on the roof it's a nice textured finish with some rivet detail and some air vents. We do have a moulding mark in the middle which kind of lets it down a little bit, but apart from that the finish is really good. On the other side of the baggage car we've only got 1 hatch at this side, but apart from that it's identical. And looking down on the chassis we've got some really nice steps underneath the doors. They look really good, and we've got this box here with a lot of nice detail, and there's a lot of bracing and brake details underneath. I've seen these bogies before. I think they're exactly the same as on the Deutsche Reichsbahn coach I had a look at. They are really good, I think. I like how you can see all the way through. The spring details are very good, and we've got some rivet details as well. We saw that we had brakes in the extra parts bag, so you can fit them in. You can see little holes there for them to slot into if you want to. And the wheels revolve not too bad. I did point out that it's possibly one of the things that was wrong with a previous coach, that it didn't revolve that good, although these wheels do revolve better than it. The coupling here in an M pocket has got some articulation separate to the bogie, and you can see that it has these steps here on the bogie separate to the ones that are a bit wonky, and they move obviously to help get this round tight corners. Underneath there you can see Liliput made in China as well. So overall, I think this is a great start. This looks like a really good carriage. It's a little bit light. We're going to weigh these all later, but let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is the car carrier. I'm quite looking forward to seeing this, so let's get it open. Well, what is this going on up here? I've never seen this on a model before. Looks like a piece of string or something that can move around a little bit. Very interesting, that's been added on there. So if you know what this is, let me know in the comments below. It doesn't seem to actually do anything on the model other than just wobble about a bit. So yeah, comments below if you know, thanks. This is finished off in the same kind of style as the baggage car in this matte green colour, and it works really well on this. And again, the flush fit glazing is very clear and you can see inside, but we don't really have much detail on most of the interior, apart from up here where we've got some seats. But what I have noticed is there's something rattling around inside this. So I'm going to have to take it apart and figure out what that is. So here we, as normal, have the details of the carriage. This is a type FFM, and we've got some other printing down here as well, just like the other carriage that we had a look at. We seem to have very close couplings on this one, and this end has the opening doors for the interior. And I've now just realised what that thing is rattling about. I think it's loading and unloading parts. It looks as though it's got little treads there for the cars to go up. So that's really cool that those have been included in with this model. So that explains what was rattling about inside there. There's no detail on the inside of these doors, but it's really cool that these open. And again, we've got the same kind of buffers just pressed into the chassis here. Looking down the side, the printing is also really good, and we have the DB logo, some more printing down on the black area. And we have a door here with a door handle picked out in silver this time. Some nice details up on the roof. It's got this lovely silver colour, not quite as textured as the baggage car bit here, which I think is an air vent. A little hatch as well, which looks really good. And this bonkers wobbly thing. So at this end of the carriage, I'm not sure whether there's meant to be some gangway fitted into here. It looks like there's a couple of holes for something, but there was nothing in the box, so that could be missing. Like I said, these are second-hand models. And around this side, we've got a door which has been blanked out for some reason. We can see more of the interior there as well. I guess that's a toilet on the far side of the carriage. And looking down at the bogies, again, very highly detailed. I really love how fine the moulding is here, and that you can see all the way through the side of the bogie, and it's got a lot of nice detail. This one has no brakes in line with the wheels, and of course no extra parts to fit onto these bogies. Look as though they're just push fit into the chassis. And again, we've got cantilever on the coupling in the NEM pocket. Not a lot of detail underneath this carriage. There is some indication of brake gear and a tank and stuff like that moulded into the bottom there, but it doesn't have any cross bracing or anything, and you can still see the Liliput made in China. So I think this is a really cool carriage. I've not seen one like this before, and I'm also impressed that it came with the little ramps as well. You can make a little cameo scene. But let's move on to the final one. So this is the saloon coach, so let's get this open as well. So this one has come with a whole bunch of extra pieces to put on here. I think there's probably too many to go on this model. We also have the brakes for the bogies there as well. Looks like a whole bunch of jumper cables. Brilliant. On this one we've got two wobbly things on the roof, so that's pretty cool. I do like those. This is another fantastic looking coach. Very similar to the other ones in that we've got really clear flush fit glazing. We can see the interior there. It looks really cool actually. We've got a table and chairs going on in there, and different colours, and red chairs and white table. And we've got a different, up this end here, it might actually be a kitchen area. Again, it's the green matte colour, which works really well. And this time we've got a silver line all the way along the length of the carriage, which works really good. It's masked off perfectly. And up here we can see the details. This one is a KOL number 10421. Much like the other ones, we have some printing down in the black area as well. This one's skirted on this coach. At this end we have gangways already fitted, and inside there we've got flush fit glazing as well. And we have the same kind of arrangement with the buffers. Again, this looks like a close coupling articulated in NEM pockets again, and probably the same as what we've just seen. Looking down the side of the carriage, there's no problems at all with any of the printing here. The DB logo is also presented here, but I have noticed it's slightly different than the other two, so maybe they changed the transfers or something. I'm not quite sure which is more accurate, whether it's this one with a thick surround or whether it's the one with a thinner surround. If you know, let me know in the comments below. This coach has steps here which actually moves independently of the carriage body and also of the bogie, but obviously it's to get around tighter corners. These will push out left or right as required. It does look a bit odd if it's going around the corners, and also it might foul if you've got like curved platforms on your layout, but you never know, it might be okay. So up on top again we've got a nice hatch here with some rivet detail, air vents all the way along, and the wobbly things, two of them this time. But the silver is really good as well, not as textured as the baggage car we saw the first time, but still really good, but crucially no moulding mark. And I forgot to mention that's also the case on the car carrier. Similar bogies again, but they're slightly different design on this one, but the spring detail is really good, and again you can see right the way through. We saw that we could fit these with brakes, which are in the extras bag, and these look as though they're push fit into the chassis as well. And underneath is a little bit more detail than the car carrier, with some cross bracing and a little bit of brake detail, and we've got some hatches as well underneath the skirted sides. But because this has the skirt, you probably wouldn't see any of that anyway. Again, you can see a Liliput made in China there. So another cool carriage, and I think what we should do is put all of these three onto the scales and see how much they weigh. So the baggage car we saw first is coming in at 110 grams. The car carrier with its ramps comes in at 144 grams. And finally, the saloon car comes in at 148 grams. Well, I'm really happy with this collection of 3 Liliput coaches from the Deutsche Bundesbahn. Each of them has its own character, and yet they come together, but they also all have similarities. Starting with the baggage car, it has a lot of nice detail. It looks as though the doors might open, but unfortunately they don't, which I feel as though maybe they should. But that's a small gripe really, because the rest of it looks absolutely fantastic and it's presented really well. All of them have this really nice matte green colour, the printing is superb, and the glazing is flush fit and very clear too. Moving on to the car carrier, very unusual. I didn't know these existed, but I'm quite impressed with this one. I like how it comes with a little ramp so you can put your cars inside if you want. I'm still not sure what that wibbly wobbly thing is on the roof. Maybe it's an aerial or something, but certainly looks quite cool, and I'm glad it's there. And finally, the saloon carriage. What an incredible model that is. I love the interior of it. It looks highly detailed and it really catches your eye. It's got 2 wibbly wobbly things on the roof. So yeah, what are those things? I don't know. But it is a really fantastic looking carriage. And all 3 come together to make a really interesting train, I think. These aren't really old models. They're maybe only about 10, maybe 15 years old, something like that. But I think they're really up there with today's modern day standards. Now, some people don't like the fact that they're made in China, but you know, I don't actually mind. For rolling stock, I think it works really well. I'm not so sure about locomotives. Jury's still out on that, but I think for rolling stock like coaches and wagons, you can't really go wrong. The level of finesse here is really good. The colours are fantastic too, and I think they're absolutely excellent models. So you're wondering how much these cost? Well, for me, these cost £15 each. And I think that's an absolute bargain. Sometimes coaches these days can be over 50 quid, and I think these are brilliant second-hand purchases. So if you're looking to expand your Epoch III collection, then have a look at Liliput coaches like these. I think they'll make a great addition. But that's just what I think. What do you think about these? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts, and also if you have a favourite. My favourite here, I think, is the saloon car, but it's a close call between that and the car carrier because I've never heard of one of those before. But anyway, I can only put one on the turntable, so I'm going to put the saloon car on the turntable so you can see all the way around. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. And in a moment, another video will appear. Just click on that and I'll see you there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time and your company on this channel, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny train, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny train, in tiny worlds, choo choo.